Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I hope everything's okay in your life. In this video we will talk about the changes made to the Valkyrie Awakening class. If you have just met me, you may not know me, but I have played Valkyrie class for more than 4 years. I can say that I know and have experienced everything there is to know about the Valkyrie class. There had been no change in Valkyrie Awakening for almost 2 years, and it was constantly falling behind other classes. Apart from a few indirect changes, there has been never a major change. Valkyrie is not a class that you can create and play easily. If you have no idea about this class and you will try it for the first time, please watch this video first. In this video I shared all the cancels, movements, tips, tricks about the class. It's a bit long, but it might be the most detailed review about Awakening Valkyrie. Afterwards, you can understand the changes for today better by watching this video. After the Valkyrie class change, I did test for a few weeks, especially for PvE, because the changes didn't have a huge impact on PvP. Of course, it has created some indirect changes, but they are not game changing. I tried the class with Valkyrie and also for endgame spots. You can find a playlist of Valkyrie videos in the pinned comment section. At the end of the video, I will share my thoughts about changes. Let's check skills. Our first skill is Sakrum Ferit. Changed, so pressing WRMB after performing the skill laterally will activate Blitz tab. This will help you quickly change positioning and also will help you to get your crit buff quite fast. I like it. Increase the distance covered than performing the skill laterally. There is a significant increase in distance traveled. This is really awesome for positioning. Change the stiffness debuff applied during attack 2 to attack 1. Added forward guard buff during the skill. It was before core, now it is for normal skill. And they changed the CC on the skill, stiffness on attack number 1 and the float on last hit. Now it will be available for core and they are only for PvE. This change is very nice buff for PvE and PvP. The forward guard effect is very powerful factor for PvE and PvP. On the other hand, thanks to the added forward guard, you can change your position as forward guarded and keep your crit buff always up on you while you're making your lateral movements mentioned above. At the same time, giving CC to core for PvP allow you to make more stable and functional PvP starting combo or catch. You can see an example on the screen right now. When you catch someone, any catch, I just show and grab catch. When you grab someone, space, shift LMB, again a space to cancel shift Q. After that RMB, at the end of the RMB, flow of Sakrum Ferit, it means Lucem Fluxum will knock down and your opponents will be ready to deal damage. You will apply your minus DP debuff, minus evasion debuff, and also you will get your crit buff and your opponents will get knocked down. It's very good quality of life change. Remove the all evasion rate reduction debuff on the last attack hits. They transferred it to Divina Inpulsa. Increase the mana cost of the skill. This is nerf for Wall Train from 35 to 50. They removed the mana recovered on the hits. This is also nerf for Wall Train. Fix the issue where the critical hit rate buff would still be applied when used during cooldown. Fix the issue where comboing from Promptness wouldn't apply the critical hit rate buff. After the change mentioned in the last sentence, your crit buff now works even in cancel situation where you use the skill from its second hit. This is a great fix for both PvE and PvP. For Lucem Fluxum, this flow of RMB, fix the issue where add-on effects were applied for all attacks. Let's check Castigatio skill. Change the motion speed, now animation is much faster. Change the now combo into Terra Sancta by holding LMB after the last attack. At the end of the skill, you can use Terra as flow skill. This is a very nice quality of life change. At the same time, if you want to use Terra immediately after the first hit, release your hand from the S key and it will use Terra directly. You can cancel the skills after these skills: Flow Lucem Fluxum, Purification, Flow Divina Inpulsa. You watched the examples on the screen, but I can say that especially after Purification and Divina Inpulsa, there is almost no initial animation. It's directly starting to stop the Lancia, a great change for both PvE and PvP. Bound CC in the skill has been fixed only on the first hit. Unfortunately, there is no bound in every stabbing animation anymore. Skill damage increased around 28% in PvE. The skill with the biggest change is Hastiludium. I have to read everything and then I will give my opinion. Remove the following effects: down smash on the last attack hits, speed attack, down attack on dash attack hits. Change to no longer combo into deadline chase or promptness while dashing with a skill. Change to perform the stab attack immediately upon dash attack hits. Stamina cost reduced from 200 to 100. Change so you can no longer move your character with your mouse during the skill. Increase the speed at which you can turn the camera and your character before each dash. Change the skill to dash up to maximum of 3 times, with each dash increasing the speed of the skill. Each addition dash will cost 100 and 120 respectively. It will be rather difficult to change your directions as your speed increases during the dash. Additional dashes are affected by your moving speed. Any collision detected during an accelerated dash will make your Valkyrie perform the stab attack instantly. Stab attacks now deal varying damage per dash. After these changes, skill usage for both PvE and PvP has changed. It has become a very good distance closing skill due to its incredibly increased range. If you catch someone with the last hit, you can inflict very high damage. Of course, this is quite difficult because it is difficult to adjust it from a very long distance and catch the exact person. Because as the distance you travel increases, the turn rate decreases. This is a big problem. You need to experience the skill. No matter how much I explain it, it will be very difficult for you to visualize the change in your mind. Let's check where the Lancia changes. They changed float to knockdown on the hits. When you learn the core skill, it will now apply knockdown CC. Added movement speed minus 30 debuff for 10 seconds. They changed the skill animation and they added hits into this slow animation. Changed the attack area of the skill accordingly, changed the casting motion for the black speed version of the skill. You can check the damage on the screen. Fix the issue where the comboing from the black speed version of the skill appeared different compared to the original skill. Changed so you can now perform low Divina Volt during the skill if you press LMB. Added the following all DP increase buff applied while you in Q block to be applied during the skill. It is all 20 DP buff for 10 seconds. Improved the combo smoothly from Purification, Low Lucent Fluxum and Promptness. Thanks to the extra hits added to the skill, PV damage has now increased incredibly. When you extend the animation, you will see the PV damage difference very clearly. On the other hand, if you press LMB before going to the last hit, you can cancel the animation and use Divina Volt directly. This is a very nice change. Another nice change is as follows. If you use F-Jump, Sancta Danceler, after Shift RMB, after Verdict Lancia, a smooth combo chance added. A nice iframe bait can be made. The point I don't understand in this, I think PA's janitor did this part. The character can already keep a 25 DP buff on her always. Why was the 20 DP buff added to the skill? This part is completely nonsense, unlogical. 20 DP debuff would have been added and it would be very useful in PvE. Sometimes it is really hard to understand developers. There are changes about Vindicta and Promptness. Let me read. Movement speed for 30% for 10 seconds on Vindicta skill changed to casting speed minus 20 for 10 seconds. For Promptness skill changed to no longer recover stamina during the skill. Stamina cost from 100 to 200 and it is increased and it is huge nerf. So I can say that we almost never use this Vindicta skill. They have been changing the skill for last years and I can say that it does any good thing. Please remove that skill or rework that skill. Promptness skill stamina cost increased from 100 to 200. This means it is end of Walk Train. Walk Train, that is a space RMB cancel, cannot be done unlimitedly anymore and the character pauses when stamina runs out. This change indirectly affected Valkyrie main players a lot, because it has been common for years the space skill, the promptness skill, is used before after many cancels and many movement skills. Such a heavy stamina nerf made the character's movement and the cancels conditions in very difficult situation. Let's talk about Bakum's skill, Wave of Light. Removed the charging effect and changed how the attack is cast. Changed so a lone cast will pull nearby for a certain duration of the time and deal holy damage. Changed all DP reduction from 50 to 20. Fixed the issue where pulling the target hits effect was not properly reduced in PvP. Let's check Divina Inpulsa changes. Added the down smash debuff on the last attack hits. They removed all DP reduction and changed it to all evasion minus 9 for 10 seconds hits. Improved so the skill performs smoothly when the only extra attacks is activated. Improved to combo smoothly into the extra attacks when used all skills with its tap attack animation, excluding Castigatio and Terra. change the damage as follows. It's pretty good PV buff. So the activation of the skill animation and it's easier to use as a flow with other skills make the skills more important. At the same time, the PV damage buff is quite noticeable. The minus evasion debuff taken from the Sakrum Ferit skill has been added to the skill, and I can say that I generally like the changes, but if I had done this work as a developer, if I were a developer, I would have increased DP debuff from 10 to 20 and keep the Sakrum Ferit's minus evasion debuff on the 30th of Sakrum Ferit. In this way, when you did the space shift Q cancel into RMB, you would get crit buff, DP shred, and evasion shred. You would have complete your preparations for your DPS combo. But I guess the developers didn't want to do this, or they couldn't even think of it. For Blitz Step and Terra Sancta skills have PV damage changes. Blitz Steps got approximately 10% PV damage buff and Terra got 50% damage buff. This is PV damage. 50% may seems like a lot, but is actually not, because the PV damage of the skill was almost non-existent. It has become more acceptable now. If we just started to consider about other classes tier 3 skills, I mean this 15k damage is not that much good, because other classes tier 3 skills they generally start from 25 to 30k PV damage. Our last skill is Purification. Fix the issue where the stun debuff was applied twice during the skill. Changed the damage as follows. This is 100% PV damage buff and PvP damage the same. Change the recover HP from 80 to 55 per hit. It's because they increased total hits in the skill. So overall, no big change. Change to no longer apply DP reduction debuff during cooldown. So I can't find anything to say about this skill because it is a very funny and disgusting situation that the only DP shred skill on the character has 7-second cooldown. It is acceptable, but if you cannot DP shred perfectly, in PvE especially, yes, it is big problem. Wave of Life can shred 20 DP, but the cooldown is too long and it is not useful. The PV damage increase is fine, but the DP shred change is very annoying and nonsense. Please PA, do something about it. I think the best option is remove 20 DP buff on the shift RMB skill Vindicta Lancia and add 20 DP debuff. This can solve every problem right now about DP shred. So in general, changes are like that. If there is anything I forgot or missed, please let me know in the comment section. So in this case, how would I rate the class? If you look at the changes, I can say that APM is even higher than before. If you learn the class and the APM is not a problem for you, the changes are quite satisfactory. The class had issues with the skill cooldowns for years. It is almost impossible to create useful infinite combo due to the cooldown inconsistency. So it's because of that, please do not ask me about infinite combo for Awakening Valkyrie. There are two issues for PvP. The first one is negative. Stamina change greatly affected the character's movement and cancels. It is big nerf. Even during in PvE, I felt that stamina changes. Sometimes I touched at 0% stamina, and this will big nerf for PvP, I can say that. The other part is positive. Thanks to the quality of life changes on the skills that I mentioned, PvP can be played faster and more secure ways in some cases. So for PvE, I will give directly the rates. For early game, I'm giving to the class 6 out of 10, A tier. For mid game, 9 out of 10, S tier. End game, 8 out of 10, S minus tier. So you have to consider about very hard difficulty on the class and a high DPM. Since the character does not have unlimited DPS combo, it can be tiring in the end game spot. We can say that the head edge cannot be prevented after a few hours of grinding, especially in the places where you need to constantly spam skills such as Hex Sanctuary spot or Troll or something like that. With the cooldown control, you constantly have to make instant decision and change position and use your ready skill. You can consider the values in the mentioned above as average maximum. It will not be possible to reach these levels without fully mastering the class. But I can say that class is now way better than before, especially for PvE. That's all from me for this video. I have a small request from you. Please do not forget to pause the video right now, subscribe to the channel and like the video and share it on your Discord. I hope you guys like my contents. Do not forget, BDO is just a game. Have a nice game.